with MakingStarWars.net.
Hello, everybody. It's time for the 1 o'clock Star Wars show.
We doing
There'll
this
be
again?
one with Scoops and Santa Claus and a guy drawing a secret project.
We got to do.
How's it going?
The Star Wars thing.
Yeah, we're gonna sing it though. Leslie Headland, what you got cooking? Good looking. No.
The more I do the Lucas impersonation, the more I feel it's his spirit comes over me. You know, it's just like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we got to do this again.
Oh shit, Marcia wants a baby.
I just keep telling them they're like for kids. They'll stop, right? Like, how much younger can I get? Are they for zygotes now? I made it for zygotes.
So yeah, today I jumped on the Star Wars Santa show for a good few minutes. I did a little sexy dance, showed some leg.
Unfortunately,
it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. I mean, the super chats were flying in. Like Santa's going to Hawaii off of that, like just alone. I was like, hey, dude, am I getting like
boots
10%?
Do the boots just keep going up the pants though, and the more you did the boot just keeps going all the way up. So Santa's really wearing thigh-high boots.
Yeah.
Well, you were doing. I just assumed Santa.
Well,
was lifting up.
I mean, they are his. He lets me borrow them. I don't have that kind of money.
So funny.
But today, I'm gonna open up the old Bespin Bulletin, and because we got some Acolyte stories. Today didn't go how I thought it was gonna go, but it's fun. You know, it was cool in the end. We got some stories moving. One from me and one from Bespin. So it's the Batman Robin 1-2 punch is what I'll call it. I'll let him be Batman today. Next time I'm Batman, though, that's the arrangement. Don't judge us. Don't kink shame us. It's our thing. Okay, here it is. I'm opening it now. You know, usually somebody who was prepared would do this before the show, but that sounds stupid to me. You know, being prepared.
It's more fun to wing it.
What is this, survival school? I mean, come on. Okay. All right, so here we go. Exclusive Star Wars series, The Acolyte, which is a bitch to write, I have to say. They need to come up with easier titles for Jason to spell. Star Wars series, The Acolyte, is in pre-production and will film at Shinfield Studios, Reading. I'm glad it's filming in Reading and not in Wells, because it would be like, it's filming at Chalet Fraser Land, and you wouldn't even know how it would be spelled, like totally different. It would look like Stein at the end. It wouldn't make any sense. The stuff with Willow is just giving me a headache. I'm like, come on, guys. It's time. It's time to rename everything. Sorry, Wells. It's over. You need to redo it. But Reading
says the guy who lives in a town where every street's named El Camino.
Every street is hey. It's all the same.
Okay.
It's
you
really
just take Rancho Verdedarne, you know, for 20 fucking 5 miles into from Burbank to Mexico. It goes straight there.
Rancho your mama, Rancho your daddy, Rancho your bald-headed granny. Over the course of the last couple of months, I've been trying to get some new information on the upcoming Star Wars series, The Acolyte. The series was initially believed to be in pre-production at Pinewood Studios last year and was due to begin filming in May, but production on the series was delayed from May until October. They even started like building, and they started like they had an Obi-Wan part 2 with that. But anyways, since then, I've been talking to various sources and keeping my ear to the ground regarding the production. And over the course of the past month or so, I've heard from various sources that The Acolyte is in pre-production in Reading, England. Upon further digging, I found out where the production was located, and I can exclusively...
Not Reading, Pennsylvania?
No, Reading Festival territory. That's the only reason why I know Reading, honestly.
What will the socialists take over next, Jason? All right? Reading.
It's reading, you idiots.
It's ridiculous. They're everywhere, Jason.
I mean, if you redefine the word, I guess you can make it mean whatever you want. All right. And I can exclusively report, wait, me or him? Because I'm the one who's saying it. I guess I can exclusively report that the Acolyte is in pre-production and will film at the newly constructed. That's very ominous. You're too British.
You just pulled off a Star Wars Newsnet, Jason.
Yeah.
You know that?
No, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's true.
They got a real laugh out of saying that.
I mean, really, what is
it's all courtesy laughs up until then, but yeah.
That was perfect. Ooh, that had to burn.
At Shinfield Studios. Shinfield Studios currently has 4 operational sound stages and will have 18 by 2024. And it had previously been confirmed that Disney would be a client on the new studio. It is unclear at the moment if Shinfield houses a volume, which is something I've been trying to get confirmation on. So I hope it doesn't. I mean, I like the volume's capabilities. In certain ways, it's amazing. In other ways, it's a cheat that looks cheap. So hopefully not.
Jason, no. Look, this volume nonsense is just code for Dykstra to jump off buildings and water slides and smoke weed all day. Like they're not building a volume; they're building a weed hut. That's
George.
what we called it.
George, I think it's time to let it go, man. It's been like 40 something years.
Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, that's the white. You're gonna
Let
say
it
it's the white slaver song. That's what you're gonna say it is the white slaver song. George, come on, dude. Move on, man.
I was gonna drop that on my SoundCloud, but no, I won't.
George Lucas's SoundCloud. Okay.
That's what he does.
So, unfortunately, I have no additional details to share on the Acolyte's production in Shinfield Studios at this time. Look at what he's saying right here, you guys. I have no additional details. So DM him, because if you DM him, he'll probably tell you the other details he won't put in the report that are too hot.
Hold on, I gotta address this one, Jason. Do these guys not like Harloff or Cambia? So you know.
I don't know who the fuck. Wait, what?
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know who Pizza is, but you need the Little Caesars icon if you're gonna pull that name off. Let me just say, I'm a member of the Campia show, and I personally went to the Schmodown once when it was still playing. I like Harloff. I like Campia.
I never been to a Schmodown, but I am a Schmo, just in general.
I like both of them as well. Absolutely.
I don't agree with what I think he's probably the other day, Jason. It's that whole thing where like, they all complain about what they want changed, and when it happens, then they're still not happy. That's my issue, and it happened with The Force Awakens, right? Or actually, before The Force Awakens, Red Letter Media put out that whole video on the prequels and said they felt J.J. Abrams should be the guy to reboot Star Wars, and then when it happened, they made a video apologizing for it. Like, this goes back to me. For me, this goes back to. I'll wrap this up, but this goes back to the Man of Steel script that Drew McWeeny complained about on Ain't It Cool News back in 2000, 2001-ish, around there. Right? The one that where Lex Luthor was an alien. And then Warner Brothers changes it eventually for a multitude of reasons, that being one of them. The fan backlash was harsh. And then when Superman Returns come out, Drew McWeeny goes on Ain't It Cool News and apologizes for ever getting involved.
Pizza says, yeah, the other day you brought them up, just asking, love your show. So he's just asking. I love him.
I love John has shitty taste in TV shows, though. So I'll say that.
Yeah. I'll wrestle them. I'll Jello wrestle them if they ever want to. I'm just saying.
And Jason will Jello wrestle them.
I'll wrestle them. You know what I mean? If they want to wrestle.
I'll say the baller thing about Harloff when he was shooting the Schmodown, he had this giant chalice like of water because it's fucking hot in that place. But he was just like carry it around, and I was like, damn, we need a chalice on the show, right, Jason?
Yeah, I have a chalice of McDonald's iced coffee if anybody wants a drink.
Man, that's saying. How I put on the weight, Jason. What are you doing?
It's only 100. It's only 100 calories.
Jason tells me he likes his coffee black, and then freely admits to drinking that.
No, I got it. I got it light. It's a vanilla iced latte. Light, friend. Light.
Yeah. But I like their show. I just disagree with them a lot. You guys. You guys like this show, but you don't agree with me.
No, I don't think anybody should ever agree, or else we'd have nothing to talk about, right?
Right, Santa?
Well, hey, I was gonna put it in the comments yesterday about you going off on canon. I was like, keep preaching. I'm with you, brother. People obsessing over canon and people being like canon obsessive, where the smallest line of dialogue in a movie has to match every tiny morsel of content across all other media.
Like Santa, are those Coca-Cola commercials really Santa canon? I mean, really? Are the polar bears real, or is it Elf the Elf? I don't know which canon to go with. Is Dudley Moore canon Santa, or is he not? Is he? I think he's imaginary.
I'm okay with broad swipe, the broad brush of canon. But when you start to get into the particulars, and you can't, it's like, come on, folks, calm down. We've lost Jason. He's like, fine. I'm just going to text.
No. So okay, so we've all I think all three of us, right, probably in our lives are like, just we get on like Facebook to like see something terrible, and then somebody messages us and they're like, oh hey, here's this like Star Wars meme, and you're like, oh cool, and but you're like, I fucking saw this like 8 months ago 37 times, thanks, in reality, because like you've already been like, it's already been jammed down your throat. So but I saw this George Carlin thing yesterday, and it's George Carlin, and it's a quote, and it says, the main reason Santa is so jolly is because he knows where all the bad girls live.
Old same thing. Yeah.
Did I just Star Wars Facebook meme you?
That's brand new. One? Never heard that one before. Ever.
Okay, well, I would personally, I would embrace it, Santa. But
that was probably the first joke I heard when I became Santa. It's like,
really?
Okay. Yeah.
I figured, but you know what? That wasn't going to stop me.
So Jason, what you're saying is you don't want me to send this video of a thing called Hardware Wars to you? You don't know? You've never heard of this? I'm sure.
Actually, that's probably fresh again. That's probably flipped back over to being relevant.
It is.
Okay.
I own it.
So
I bought the hardware NFT.
Old Man McBespin. That's his real true name, in case people don't know. He's actually about 76 years old. Old Man McBespin is his real name. And he was working on his scoop today.
I need to make that fake account and become a member.
Old Man McBespin. Yeah.
Had a moisture farm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So like, because he and I at one point were like, why is everything so slow at Pinewood? Like everything was just like really, really slow. Everybody we knew was working on things that didn't start
Jason,
with an S.
The fucking unions, Jay.
Oh no, George.
They have to drink tea. They take tea breaks. It doesn't stop all day. They got at the pub. They're eating Tim Tams. They're eating.
George, I think that's in Australia. I think you meant about prequel era shit.
No. They're eating Nutella. They're eating pierogies. They're eating all sorts of shit you don't eat. It's ridiculous.
Dude, you need a therapist, man. All right, we can't help you. We can't help you on this show, George.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna go watch Harloff. Bye.
So anyways, yeah. So here's what ended up popping out as I was I was helping Bespin try to get like confirmation. Not that he needed it, but he was just like, you heard the stuff, and I was like, let me look and see what I could get, if anything. And if I had got anything, I would have just been like, there you go, But what I ended up getting was something different, and it was just this name came up a few times. And so in recent days, I'll read it to you because I know I can't write and you can't read. In recent days, while working on a story about Star Wars Acolyte for tomorrow, I was looking into some details about Bespin Bulletin's recent story that Disney Plus's Star Wars Acolyte would film in Reading, and to see if there was anything to add to the story. Two different sources, one UK based and one in SoCal, mentioned that Kate Herron is supposedly involved, or approached at least. Herron executive produced and directed Marvel's Loki to critical acclaim. On paper, she sounds a good fit to direct showrunner Leslie Headland's Star Wars series. It may be worthy of note that Herron is a British director, and the series will film in Reading. Also, both Herron and Headland are LGBT plus filmmakers creating a space fantasy story for Disney. It's not immediately clear if the series will explore LGBT issues, That said, science fiction fantasy is a fertile ground for exploring themes and ideas a dominant culture is currently grappling with. No, I never saw Star Trek. That's not true. I think the rumor has a lot going for it personally, but until I know for a fact Herron is directing one or more episodes, and it was more than being approached, I'm treating it as a rumor with legs for now, and I hope it pans out because I really loved Loki. And that's what I had to add. That was my little piece on it. So really liked Loki. So I think it did pretty solid character work on that show. I think like the internal logic of the characters was so sound. The director and the writer were working, in tandem, I think, and made that one a home run for me anyways. Not a big Marvel person, as I always say,
No.
but that's one of the ones that I really enjoyed. I did think it looked cheap though. I thought it looked cheap like Kenobi because of the volume stuff.
No, it did not look like
Yes, it did. It looks like fucking Doctor Who.
No,
it does.
No, come on, Jason.
No, it didn't.
does.
I watched Doctor Who.
It looks like
fuck.
it looks like fucking dog shit. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just trolling.
Hold on, let me go confirm.
No, I mean, but Rogue One looks like crap.
Well, it does if you got your settings wrong. No. That's true. That's and you guys see what happens when the elves start talking unionization too much, right? You see any elves on the production line? No, you don't. You know why?
Why?
Because we automate that stuff, right? We don't need no elves working on the line. It just costs.
You're talking. I like the cut of your jib, Santa.
Wait, what? Who's the real Santa?
We're all kidding. I'm the comics holiday special Santa from the comic book adaptation. Every comic's made from a real elf.
Penny, come here, really quickly, Penny, come here, quick. Wait, no, put him back.
No, it's like the frog.
Put him back. Which one's the real Santa, Penny? The bottom one? Penny says the bottom one's the real one. Get out of here. Top one.
See, there you go.
So
that's right.
We had a little bit of
Santa Putin!
No.
Gonna invade the South Pole, Jason!
Ukrainian in, buddy. Ukrainian in. All right. Let's. Here we go. All right. So this is floating around. I honestly do not know the original source, so we're just going to throw it out there as being whoever got this autograph. Good work. But it's the Indiana Jones actor whose name I can't remember all of a sudden. But he wrote his name as Flavor.
He does look like an AI composite of every like actor you could think of, right? Like, because I was looking, it's like a Val Kilmer met a Mel Gibson by way of J.K. Simmons with a little bit of like, look at a little bit of that Jim Carrey flat top look,
Just read the autograph if you don't know. Look at it. It says it right there. I don't know.
I thought that was his actual car when he said it to me. I'm like, fuck, dude. No. Which car? Sure, it's got my name on it. Like, shit.
Right. But we were able to figure out over the course of filming of Indiana Jones 4 that he's a bad guy. We saw him, chasing Indy a couple of times and in fights with him and stuff. And he has that really big dude with him, that big that German bodybuilder with him. And then he signed this autograph, Kleber. Is this, I guess, how you would say it? Clabber?
Hey, man, that looks like a Jeopardy answer. Yeah. How much did you bet? How much?
Who is Clabber?
How much did you? If they can't tell how much you bet, they can't deduct it, Jason. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but we haven't really had much indie news in a while, so I was like, well, there's at least a little baby thing.
All I can hear is Jerry Lewis, Clabberhausen.
Clabberhausen. That's probably.
Hey, got some more F Troop jokes, Santa? Bringing out the relevant jokes, my friend.
Hey.
Yeah, that looks like Colin Farrell. I agree with this one. Tyrant's right? Colin Farrell. It's like if Colin Farrell's like cheap like knockoff, right? It's like the boys version of Colin Farrell, right?
The boys version.
Yeah. You know, like they all got their versions of superheroes. That's their version of Colin Farrell.
All right. Oh, remember how we had that scoop a while ago about the IG-11 mech?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the one only you and I cared about.
Yeah, I could finally see it right there in the circle. That's IG-11's hand. You could clearly see it right there. It's this little claw. It's pointing towards him. His little pincher. See, it's like that right there in the circle.
That's IG-11's hand.
Yeah.
I don't
see it.
I'm gonna take your word for it.
So
it looks like an AT-AT foot to me.
Yeah. Look at the.
Looks kind of like Leah Thompson, right, Jason? Like,
man, something's never changed with you. Is that Mark Harmon?
It's Mark Summers, Jason. Clearly.
Oh. Yeah. Well, what we think you're looking at is IG-11's wrist here on the very bottom going up, and then the hand is sort of clasped and closed, and it appears to be it.
Yeah.
So it does, and then we guessed that Babu Frick would be the one making the suit when we saw the celebration coverage, and so I think that pretty much confirms it. Or
him and his
very
buddies,
close,
right? There's several of them.
The little frickers is what they're called.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the little frickers. And I'm guessing what this little fricker's working on is maybe the part that Grogu's going to sit in.
Santa's just getting hungry with. I could probably put those on a line somewhere. Get him making some etch-a-sketches.
Candy cane line right now. And that doesn't look like Babu there, right? That looks like. I mean,
it's hard to say though, because he could have like different clothes on and stuff. You know, it's been like 40 years or something, more than that. Or it's about 30 years before, 30-ish years, 29 years maybe. So, he might have different clothes. I don't know. But anyways, always nice to see something an older scoop sort of maybe potentially panning out. Then.
Oh, you were 100% right about that scoop. I believe it.
Oh, I know. I know I'm right on that one.
Us and that guy who made that kick-ass fucking toy, man. Like, that toy was so good.
That toy was cool. Yeah, I did a good job.
It is. Like, I wish it looked exactly like that toy. I'm not even shitting. With the little cape and everything. It's fucking awesome.
All right. So this right here, I can't lie. I keep going back and forth on it. And right now, my pendulum is swinging more towards bullshit again.
Oh, no.
It just keeps like going, I keep going back and forth on it. There's just like a lot that the more it sits, the more I'm like, I don't know if I buy it, but I think it's if it's fake, it's a good fake. That's what I'm going to say. And it could be true. So
is this from Reddit? Is that where it is from?
Yeah, I think it was
fake.
Reddit.
Yeah, it's fake.
And, yeah.
Reddit's never gotten anything right.
No,
what about the Boba Fett? It's such
things.
Details, Jason. Like even
I know.
Look at this. Okay, let's just think about this for a second. Before you read everything, I'm gonna put a damper on it, right?
Okay.
Think about all the info you had for Obi-Wan. Could you imagine typing it all out in that amount of detail? You know what I mean? Like you probably got a paragraph, but I mean that's very specific, scene by scene, and does this and that and this. It's like unless fucking RoboCop watched this shit, or Rain Man or something like.
What about Johnny 5? And he was assimilating it really quickly.
Right, if Johnny 5 read back the whole script, I don't know, man. Like this is too much info for it to be real.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna say it's probably fake. It's almost
OSHA to OSHA.
Right?
That's right.
It's an easy one.
It's almost all. I mean, it's true. If you usually bet against something being fake in terms of Star Wars leaks, you will generally be right. You know what I mean? Like if you're just like if you wanted to come into the Star Wars community and be like, hey, I'm gonna swing my big one around and prove how right I am all the time about stuff.
Star Wars debunker.
Yeah, always just bet against everything unless it's coming from me or Bespin. Usually
the Debunkalorian shows up.
The Debunkalorian, no. Yeah. How about a show called Debunk Beds, and we're all both on bunk beds, like on top of the bottom, and we're like have like those like little nightcaps from the 1800s, and then we go, sounds fake. No, okay, that's dumb. But anyways, this came out. there's
Stunned silence.
stuff, yeah, stunned. So like the idiocy of this man. Can I resize this image? This image does not want to resize. Okay, well that's the size of it. So the up front, they say there's a spice cartel trying to force Grief Karga to allow them to run spice through the city of Navarro. They are working for a big unnamed as of yet player. So that sounds like it could be a plot to a Star Wars show, because it was. That was the plot of Book of Boba Fett. And the unnamed player makes you go, who could it be? You know what I mean? And that's where I kind of start to get a little bit of the bullshit alarms going on. Once again, it could be real. I don't know. So you guys decide if it's real or not. We're just going to dig into it. But at the same time, maybe they would just be like, that's the kind of stuff that Boba Fett's attached to, right? That's the kind of stuff that these people are dealing with, and reuse that idea again. Like that's possible too. So that's why none of the stuff like pulls it out for me. But there is an episode where Grogu and Din travel to the border area of the unknown regions, the parts you shave. A mysterious, tall, hooded man tells Din that he knows. So once again, we have a second unknown mysterious person in this story, in this very specific readout. A mysterious, tall, hooded man tells Din that he knows of a planet with legends of Yoda's species. Hey, everybody, there's Yoda's species there.
The North Pole.
Yeah, you would think it would have been like I know where there's more.
Turns out it's Star Wars Santa's planet. He's just been hoarding all the Minch toys this whole time.
Well, I mean, it used to be canonized that indeed Santa is related to Yoda.
Right. If I was faking this though, I would have written it as a mysterious tall-hooded man tells Din that he knows of a planet with legends of species like Grogu's. It's weird that it goes right to Yoda's. That's just throwing it out there. I don't know. Real creepy episode. It's not Yoda's species homeworld, but home to a colony of dark side Yodas.
Now, Jason,
mm-hmm.
I just want you to know, originally it was going to be Kylo Rudolph in The Force Awakens. Kylo Rudolph.
I don't believe
he's going
it.
to have a Kylo Vixen and a Kylo Dancer.
I don't believe anything you have to say. I don't believe you. I don't believe you for 1 second. I think you're just pandering to Star Wars, Santa. Just like you pander to the fucking Star Wars fan base all the time. I'm actually honestly just sick of it.
Caught me red socialist handed, Jason.
Oh no.
All right.
Okay. So anyways, it's not Yoda's species. They look sickly pale green, don't speak, have ghostly blue eyes, and they look like those creepy guys from the Dark Crystal who were hypnotized. They're called the Black Drinkers, as they drink a poisonous black broth. Well, doesn't sound like they're dying. Din and Grogu nope out of there after seeing them, and after that they try to take Grogu. I guess the little green guys who sound like the white dog shit from the 70s versions of ET to me. Also very interesting is the fact that the hooded man tells Din to be careful, so close to the unknown regions, as there are rumors that strange ships like none of us ever heard described before have been seen in the area, and ships have been vanishing along the border. So
such specific stuff. If this were real, like their source right now is jumping off the Coronado Bridge. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
yeah,
that's well the thing. Like Meg, I think Meg may be more positive about this one, as it's more like positive possible about it. And when we were first time out, I was like, this sounds more realistic to me than some of them. But then but Meg asked me, she was like, but why would they go look at the Yoda species? Like, why would they go do that? And it's like, they're not trying to drop them off. So like, what would the context be? And it's weird to know about the episode and be like, yeah, real weird episode, guys. Like, it's going to fucking totally freak you out, but not know actually like how it starts or what the context of what is the reasoning for it. And like that, Sam.
It's a good one,
Yeah.
Sam.
But
It's just
yeah,
too
so
detailed for me, Jason.
too detailed for you so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yoda is Yoda. Okay. Boba is basically co-starring in this season. He's in more than half the episodes with Din. Now this right here, I feel like I know more about the later half and how things wash out than about how they begin. Because, you know, when things begin on the show, it sounded like it was a little bit more, I don't mean like rudimentary, but a little bit more like, I'm Mando doing Mando stuff. And then everybody wanted to talk about the developments, and the developments are on the middle to back half of the show. So I personally can't even confirm from my sources right now that Boba's actually in the show. Like I haven't heard anything concrete that made me go like for sure. But according to everybody who's not me or Bespin Bulletin, Tamara Morrison's in every single Star Wars show in 15 or 16 roles,
except his own.
Except for his own. So once again, I'm not saying he's not.
He's not even in a whole episode. I mean, like,
yeah, but we haven't been able to like I'm just being honest. Like we haven't. I don't want to speak for Bespin, but to the best of my knowledge, I don't think me or Bespin have been able to put him on anything in a meaningful way at this point. Doesn't mean that we know everything, because I don't think we do. You know what I mean? So I'm not like saying it means one thing or the other, but I'm just throwing it out there that if you follow my stuff and usually go like, well, if he says it, I kind of believe it. I kind of have nothing on it. So anyways,
Meg had him kind of pegged in
hot
the UK
Meg
for a
pegged
while.
him?
Oh yes, that too. But she had him in the UK for a prolonged period during Andor filming. So a lot of those kind of rumors bear some weight.
Yeah,
but he probably just had a football thing, right? Like he's like really addicted to like sports or something.
He did 2 signings, is what I think Meg said,
right?
Yeah,
about a month apart.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. It's and I'm of 2 minds on that, because I feel like if it was really secret and they didn't want anybody to know, they wouldn't have let him do the signings. They're like, but they do, but those things do happen. Those oversights do happen. So,
well, at the same time, you can easily say, no, he was over there. He wasn't over here.
Yeah.
That was totally on the east side of town, not on the west side of town.
Right.
It's impossible to
moving on up.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, that was a relevant one.
I was gonna make a Coolio joke, but you know, you went even further.
Oh, I went right to the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know the song, Jason.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it.
Come on, man.
If you saw the leaked trailer, the Children of the Watch are actually firing on Boba Fett and Black Chrysanthemum and a bunch of Tusken Raiders. This happens early in episode 2. That scene is on Tatooine, not Mandalore. The Armorer and Paz found another covert of the Watch and are hiding out in a big cave. It's the same region where Kenobi finds Luke in A New Hope. The local Tuskens tell Boba about the Mandalorians and want them gone. I'm told this is Boba's most badass scene in any medium. See, once again, it's like it kind of acts like he saw the episode earlier and then kind of acts like it's, you know, something different. I'm told this is Boba's most badass scene in any medium, and he knocks out several of the Watch with his gaffy. Black Chrysanthemum fights Paz. Fennec is back in the palace, keeps rule while Boba is gone. Not told why they attack him. Could be to do with him being a clone of Jango, or just wearing the armor. The Mandalorians and Boba and Tuskens and Black Chrysanthemum eventually come to a stalemate and understanding. Boba tells Din about them. All right, what's that, Rob?
I'm told it says, I'm told this is the most badass we've ever seen Boba Fett, as if that's a response to the internet complaining he's been weak sauced as of late.
Yeah.
And then he knocks out people with his gaffy stick. That ain't the most badass Boba Fett. We've seen Boba Fett in an episode of Mando nuke fucking people, kill a bunch of folks with his rockets, you know what I mean? Like,
but he's doing that thing.
And then now he's knocking people out with his fucking gaffy stick. That ain't the baddest Boba Fett we've ever seen. It's just they don't have. I'm telling you, man.
Well,
I'm telling you right now. I will eat a shoe, Jason.
Okay.
You know I'll do it.
I'll watch you. I'll make you do it. My problem with it is, once again, for all I know, the little kid Mandos, as I called them, Might be in 15 episodes of the 8 for the season, for all I know. I have no idea how many episodes they're in, but I had them in the finale, not in the early episodes.
I agree with Rob. I think this leak is bigger than the one in Liam's pants. That's what.
Finally making sense, George.
Right? He wouldn't even talk about that until like a month ago.
So, anyways, but like I said,
sorry,
like I said this morning. well, no, on Brian's show earlier, I was like, but for all I know, they introduced this is real. They introduced those little kids, their little punk asses, and then at the end of the season, they're fighting alongside the good guys, and everyone's united, and it's, you know what I mean? Like that could very well be the case.
Right.
So, but I only have them at the end. That I can
You're
confirm.
Such a fair guy, Jason.
Well, I'm trying to evaluate the information, not like play to my passion. You know what I mean? I mean, like in terms of like, well, I mean, a lot of the stuff I think in this sounds fun. So if it ended up being real, I wouldn't be mad at it, you know. But what I don't
want to see Boba Fett knock out people with this gaffy stick. I want to see, in the same way I don't want to see the Bad Batch using the stun option every scene. You know, it's like it's Star Wars. Just fucking kill him. Like, shoot him. Like, this is not hard. Like, sorry, blast him. Right,
okay. So Christopher Lloyd is playing a Mandalorian clan chieftain, and Keith David is also playing another. They are two respected elders who Bo listens to. Now that was essentially in my report. And then I up front wasn't told that it was Christopher Lloyd. Later on, did find out that Christopher Lloyd was the one of the crusty old white guy, and then the dark skinned guy. So it kind of makes sense.
What if he's just king of the frickers?
Could be Christopher Lloyd.
Little fricker crowning thing, you know.
I was really excited to be able to bring Babu Frick, the younger Babu Frick, to screen.
It's pretty good, Jason. You're gonna kill yourself doing that impersonation. You gotta know it can't take that much out of you.
I could do it.
You were turning redder than Santa.
Fair enough.
All right.
But what I do find ballsy about this is saying Keith David's playing the other one, like literally just saying Keith David is the other old crusty guy. You know what I mean? Like that is very specific. And something that would be easy, will be shot down probably sooner than later. So, I thought that was at least interesting. But also, like, I was kind of hoping that they would explain a little bit more of the Grogu mech thing, because there's a couple of details on there I would like to come out, and that would verify them. So if they do watch this and we're being unfair to you, and you want to just verify that part of the story, then I'll redo this and be like, you are dead on,
or just become a member or super chat us and complain about me. We accept complaints just in the form of super chats.
Or how about this? Super chat me $100 and just be like,
cool. Jason, you owe me a Papa Murphy's. You get $100 fucking super chat.
Sounds fair.
That's all I'm saying. Saying.
So Ray Stevenson, who was cast for Ahsoka, is also in this. He's basically the main antagonist of the season. He's playing an Imperial Mandalorian, not Gar Saxon, obviously. Why obviously? Did he die or something? I forgot. He's an admiral and keeps watch over what's left of Mandalore, as the Imperial Mandalorians have a huge base under the mines of Mandalore and are up to something shady. And that kind of rings true between me and Bespin Bolt and stuff, whatever it's worth. And Din will, but I didn't know if there had a base there, because there was like two locations. Remember, there's like those red guards I saw that I talked about, and some red stuff leaked as well, Praetorian looking stuff. But me and Bespin, for the record, I think don't believe that it's the same location as the Mountain of the Mines of Mandalore, because we have differences in the set coloring of the rocks. Anyways, he has a large spike. It could be though. He has a large spike gauntlet, and I'm told he kills a fan favorite character with it. Once again, you got a big death, and you're leaking all this shit, but you don't say who the fan favorite is. I mean, also, what I also find curious about it is favorite is written in the British favorite. That's a British favorite.
And that in there?
Yes. FAOURITE. I have a feeling if this shit was to leak, it would be over in the United States, in Southern California, and not to a British person. So that's another strike against it for me.
Not for Reading, Pennsylvania.
No.
England?
Well, maybe in Reading, Pennsylvania, you can use whatever favorite you want. Maybe that's like something they voted on with the city council.
Well, in the North Pole, they just spell it however the elves can chisel it into the walls.
Oh no!
So it's really abbreviated. Yeah, it's really abbreviated, but you get the point.
So those are the juiciest episode details I was informed about, and then here's where I think it shits the bed. But last and most excited, I don't know how they factor in is Rex, Wolves, Sabine, Ahsoka, Fen Rao, Axe Wolves, Hera, Callus, Zeb, and more all make appearances. Oh my god, everybody. I mean, like, for the record, I know a lot about the end stuff that I haven't talked about. And Axe Wolves was a Bespin Bulletin scoop, for instance. A lot of these characters, if they do show up, boy, will I be fucking surprised. I've been surprised before. I was surprised by Palpatine. Palpatine wasn't originally in the Kenobi shit, and then there he was. So
yeah, but then the leak would just be Palpatine's in it. It wouldn't be this like this dissertation on the entire plot of like 2 episodes broke down into minute detail. Like,
yeah.
Well, you can see in that trailer a night owl clearly in there.
Oh, so, yeah.
I mean,
there's hundreds of Mandalorians in this season. Like every Mandalorian variation, like every single thing, they're all fighting each other. They end up all teaming up at the end. Like everything is in it. So it's totally open to say like anything you want. I'm just saying, if you were faking.
Yeah, well, I'm just the Axe Wolves, one of the Night Owls. I could see him, being part of that. We already saw it's a female Night Owl in there. Can't tell if it's Bo or Casca Reeves or whatever. But it could also there. If the Night Owls are there, it makes total sense that Axe Wolves would be there as well. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we know for certain that he is that X is there for sure. Yeah, we have him on set and stuff, like, for sure. And the way I think the season is going though is it's sort of like what's her name? Katie Sackhoff's character. Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's a little like, I don't like any of this. None of this is sitting right with me. And it's kind of, and then a lot of turmoil's kicked up, and she's on opposite sides of pretty much everybody. And then as everything, and then they eventually, Din and her, begin to sort of reconcile their differences about things. And at this point though, she may be Mandalore at the end of it, because I, know that she gets mythosaur armor by the end of it. I would think whoever is Mandalore gets that. I don't think the Mandalore's baddest bitch gets to wear the coolest thing. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, this doesn't like really add up to me. So I think she gets it personally. Like, that's what I'm betting on right now, is that when all is said and done, Din doesn't really want it. He's not really interested in it, but he's the big leader. And that's like the overarching sort of thing of the season. And for what it's worth, a lot of that doesn't really seem to play into it. A lot of this report.
If we go in here and it says a fan favorite is killed, there was some speculation that could be Bo-Katan. I say no, specifically off of your rumor here that says that Bo's going to get that mythosaur armor.
Yeah.
I mean, why are you making her the armor if she's dead? Like, that's not a ceremonial tribute while she's dead in the coffin. You know what I mean?
Maybe they bury her in it.
right. So I just
Santa's way too happy about that.
Yeah.
but we did talk about who that fan favorite could be. And Bill Burr's character comes up. I think a lot of folks in my stream earlier today were saying, "Oh, okay, that one makes sense. Perhaps is the leading candidate, at least from the folks who were watching my show earlier." Where would you put your hand there?
I feel like Bill Burr's, he's a comedic character. So I don't know if using him to prop up the dastardly evilness of somebody as a warrior specifically would necessarily like ring too well for me. So that one, so I don't know. But once again, I mean, he's a fan favorite. I mean, how many fan favorites are there?
He'll just blow up Cara Dune.
Gina Carano. Gina Carano. They're gonna
be a photo of her face. Oh, she died. Oh,
well, I threw Grief Karga out there, but they said he's not a big enough fan favorite. But I mean, that's what they told me earlier.
But Bill Burr. Okay, whatever. Like, whatever that means.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like, I mean, it's all semantics about what fan favorite means, and depending on who you ask. But in my opinion, fan favorite would go down to returning principal players, and so Grief Karga would be as valid as Bill Burr, I think. And if he wants to go on into the future of the show directing, they could kill his character off. I mean, when you look at his character, when I mean, like let's just talk about that for a second, though. Grief Karga, when we meet him, sort of a jerk. Then he kind of comes around. Then, as time moves on, he becomes legitimate. What do you do with the character who becomes legitimate in Star Wars? Like once they have it all, once they
blow up
actualized,
the Death Star, Jason. What are you talking about?
No, that's the whole thing. Is you either have the Empire come in and take it all from them, so they have a reason to continue to fight, or it's time to die.
They're going to bring in Skyhook, and then Grief Karga is going to blow up Skyhook, and he's going to go, woo! Yeah. When he does it, everyone's going to be like, this is great. I love this. Now it's Star Wars.
The Cobb Vanth was mentioned. Do you kill him off? Does he qualify? Or Boba Fett?
He's part toaster. You can't kill him off.
I don't think there's any way they kill Boba Fett off.
No. And there's no way they kill Cobb. You can't go, oops, Cobb didn't die, so we could kill him next season in the other show. Like, no, I say no to that. I think that would be tacky. It could happen, but it would be tacky. Yeah. But they do, if it is real, they do mention Tatooine and Tatooine stuff. So it would sound like they mostly know stuff around this Tatooine part of the story in this arc. And I do assume that Tatooine does come back into play because, of the R5D4 droid and stuff like that. So I do think
we're all dying to know what happened to Freetown. So I can't wait.
I mean, we may end up having the first episode may have him leaving the battle at the end of Book of Boba Fett. Like it may be literally him leaving there and going into the town with the kid and getting the droid and going to do something, like deciding what his next move is going to be.
The planet though.
Did he leave for good at the end of it?
Yeah, the Naboo fighter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did like the they could still do an addendum, but you're right. Or they could just have him fly back and do it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
So that's so Star Wars, Larry. He goes and he comes right back, gets the Dreadnought goes.
I think there's no chance, but any chance is Din Djarin and they orphaned Grogu to go back to Luke.
The old orphan trick.
They're going to do that.
Well, that's how Santa keeps his shop running, Jason. So he's got his hopes up high on this.
Oh, those orphans.
I don't think they do that, but
Captain Hook was my brother-in-law.
That's been a theory for some time, is that Din would die, and that's going to turn Grogu back to Luke, or turn him dark, or something like that.
I think if they want 800 years of story out of Grogu, you don't do that. That way Ben Solo doesn't kill him. And then he joins up with the Jedi long after his father's dead. Things are okay, or they're not, whichever. And then he would go and join the Jedi Order that exists after Palpatine's second death.
Yeah. And, then the other one that folks are kind of alluding to, and you mentioned Tatooine and what may be happening there. Fennec, any chance they kill Fennec Shand?
Yeah.
Only if we're lucky.
Oh,
I say no. I want Fennec to get I want Fennec to have a good story, like a good arc. Like
right.
I don't think the actor's bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with the character. They just haven't, but they haven't set her.
I think
up
they should
the
wipe
T-ball
out
for
his
a home run.
entire crew, Aliens 3 style, Jason.
Oh,
You
maybe
know what I mean?
maybe the fan favorite is the Vespa
all
gang.
of them.
Vespa
All of
gang.
them. Yeah, all of them get taken out in the opening minutes. Just all of them.
Have you guys seen?
Blow 'em
Have
all
you
up.
guys? Have you guys seen Nikki's Vespa gang back tattoo that she has? It's really cool.
Oh.
It's really cool. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
I know Baymax would be weeping tears for weeks if they killed the Vespa gang. Yeah.
That's what I want. And could you save the tears so I can drink them live on the
Yes.
show? Jason's like, we'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll get Sharon's little twirly straws, right? Like the milkshake ones, right?
I still think the leading candidate, Miggs Mayfield, Bill Burr's character, stands a chance of getting killed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, eventually he does. I mean, he will die for sure. I think with his character's past, you kind of do have it set up where he's doing the right thing, but once that's actualized again, like what do you do with it? And when you look at how far out, like obviously they could just manufacture a new in-between war for the story, you know, like everyone will go, well, Thrawn comes back, and then like that's the big thing now. But if they don't do something like that, these characters become actualized. They run the full gamut of the arc,
Jason?
and then they don't have any kind of war to go into to wrap themselves up, right? So they have to do
All a
something.
scoop. I'm gonna give you all a scoop. Little Star Wars, making Star Wars exclusive.
Last time you said that, it was a key bump, and I don't do drugs.
No.
Okay,
It's gonna be called Mandalorian season 4 or 3, whatever. I don't care. War for the plot holes. It's gonna be all about fighting over the plot holes. So we're already laying them out. We're laying out all the plot holes for the next 3 seasons. So you're gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
You know that you just like pitch the stuff and they just tell you okay because they like your hat.
Yeah, they also send me out to In and Out right when I'm done all the time. Should probably get low carb. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah, that was pretty hilarious when the Clone Wars got canceled and they all went to In and Out and got Order 66. That's pretty
It
good.
really happened, yeah.
It really happened. It's real.
That's the whole reason why I made that stupid background. It's the whole reason.
Am I the only one freaked out about the Yoda leak? Are you freaked out in the sense that you think it's scary, or are you freaked out that you hate it? Like
it ain't
what do you
real,
mean?
so don't worry about it.
Well, I speculated earlier, and I don't know if it holds any weight at all. If the world they could be going to is some sort of dark nexus, and it's all visions of, we saw as you put in your thumbnail that dark Yoda from Clone Wars, where he sees himself and he does battle with himself as he's learning the ways of the Force, so to speak. There in season 6.
You're talking about when Yoda confronts his hubris.
Yes. Yeah. So
Darth Hubris, I told you that was the villain for episode 9 originally.
Yes, there you go. Could they be going to a dark nexus of sorts where that's a vision of Grogu's, and it's just been interpreted wrong in the leak?
It's a fucking gremlin, Jason. I mean, that's clearly he's a gremlin. I told you they're fucking mogwais. Like, see, if you do all the rules, the mogwais are furry, but then they lose all their fur when they hit the first age of 1, and they're green, and then you look. Oh. That's how I look when I wake up after a night of Mongolian barbecue. Yeah, it's kind of true. Yeah. That was me reaching out to Marsha when Kurtz would come around.
Don't go.
Yeah. And she'd be like, "No, I'm out. I'm gonna go hang out with Marty." And I'm like, "You bitch."
Oh, George.
He holds a grudge, dude.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
He holds grudges, dude. I love him, but he holds grudges, man.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Eric wants to know if Jason accidentally kills Star Wars Santa, does he become the new Star Wars Santa, like what happened to Tim Allen in that Santa Claus documentary?
Yeah, hey, my response was I'm more worried about Rob, killing me off in the alley. He's already been practicing the job.
Yeah,
right.
The last thing I want to wear is a red hat, Santa. So don't worry.
You've already been practicing. He's already got the imagery there. He's got the voice down. I just, it's just one more step.
I think he's hoping that you're going to invite him to one of the meetings to meet the boys. In one of the Santa meetings. I think he's trying out.
Well, if you heard earlier today, some of those meetings are interesting, especially if you get into the call early.
Yeah.
Before the guys put their clothes on and they call into the Zoom meeting without, still wearing just their underwear. It's a special moment.
They think it's like the YMCA, but it's
Zoom. I'm just going to go down into this Zoom meeting with other Santas, and they click in, and the camera's on, and you're like, oh no!
Yeah.
Put some clothes on. Put your pants on first, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, I'm really missing out on that life, aren't I, Sam?
I'll send you a link to the next one.
Just another thing I got to explain to the old family therapist.
There you go.
Thanks, Anna.
King Chris is all, Arya, do armadillos scare you?
It's a valid question.
Imagine seeing like 10 dark side Yodas trying to snatch Grogu. That's just awesome and creepy. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it could make a cool scene or a cool thing.
I think Grogu makes a bow and arrow with a paperclip.
Oh, gets in the little Barbie car.
Puts on a little red bandana. Right?
Yeah.
Fights all the other evil minches and shit. I'm just saying, man. Like, I never watched that episode of the cartoon, but that's clearly a bad gremlin, and I've long believed that those fucking Mogwais are literally they're Yodas. They just lose their fur when they become of age. They get old enough, they lose their fur. They're green underneath because they're green when they turn bad, right? Mm-hmm. So they're a little furry and happy. Then when they turn bad, they're evil green. But if you grow old, you look at fucking Gizmo. Look at Yoda. It's a 1-to-1. It's
what
not
they call
like
those hairless dogs in Texas that have mange. What they call those?
La Chupacabra?
Chupacabra, whatever. Right? Uh-huh. It's the same thing. It's the same.
Chupacabra.
It's Yoda's
Santa
with mange.
being culturally insensitive to mythical creatures. But,
Yoda's with mange. That's it.
It's actually on point for Santa, though. Like, if you think about it.
Yeah, in a bizarre move, Santa was canceled by the cryptid community today.
Leprechauns! Sackwatches! Yurties, Jason! Yeah. Like.
Since hairless dogs is plural, I'm going to take it that you're talking about me and Santa right now. We don't appreciate that, Nikki. Yeah. If I could have anybody be Finn's Jedi Master, though, that's not Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry, Grogu's. I would want it to be Finn. I think Finn and Grogu would be an awesome team up because I think John Boyega would be hilarious with a little puppet. I think he would do a good job with it. I think Daisy Ridley's pretty dry, and that just would be what it is.
Jason, you have a couple video clips you can cut to right now if you want to.
Is Meg watching? Because if Meg's watching,
Nikki's here. It's too late.
Nikki, all right.
Just saying, you can. She could comment on this, Jason.
I can do it. Jack, I can do it.
For our next exercise, I would like you to enter me for 30 thrusts. Let's do that 10 times, and continue until I say we're done.
Grogu's like, what?
Grogu's like, jackpot.
And then he's doing that running away where they cut to the human feet, like Alf,
Yeah, Dave's like, well, actually, Grogu's first word is actually first words. It was jackpot. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't really know if these shows are going to talk to each other as much as we would like to think that they will, or that if they should. It always seems like they do talk to each other eventually. And Boba Fett is a higher candidate for it, in the sense that when you really get down to it, Book of Boba Fett is really Mando season 3 that is sort of disowned a little baby bit, a little baby bit. You know what I mean? It's not really a
In
true
the
Mando
immortal
season
words
3.
of Father Sardar Alducci, I'm gonna say a no.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good one.
Really good, really good. Well, that's what I was kind of talking about earlier. Is like if Mando season 2 informs Book of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett then informs Mando season 3, and Mando season 3 informs Ahsoka. Like if all those rumors are true about, say, the Ghost Crew and Sabine and all of that, right? If all of that's true, or even like a good portion of it's true, then it makes all of those kind of, as you're saying, they talk together or talk to one another. But is it a little confusing to folks to have shows of different names that inform one another in a way where one is dependent upon the other, and fans or just a casual viewer needs to be able to connect those dots?
Santa, look, that was my whole complaint and thesis yesterday.
I heard you.
Was that people are already complaining. They're infinitely complaining amongst Campias and the Harlofts and all the other chatter out there that the MCU's too interconnected and they feel like they have to watch all this stuff before they sit down and watch a movie. But then, on the other hand, like, I'm really glad that all these books and novels are connected, in which I'm forced to read a 500-page novel to, like, fix some kind of headcanon for a future season of a TV show that we never bothered to film. Like, it's just, it's no different at the end of the day, but in some ways worse, because, like, I feel like they're using this other stuff as just people complain, we'll put it in a book somewhere and we never have to deal with it, and it kind of breeds lazy storytelling. There isn't even like there isn't an impetus, whatever, a prime directive, to make a Star Trek quote, to actually make the stuff in the show feel complete. I mean, Book of Boba Fett doesn't feel complete. It doesn't really start and end. You know, like, it just kind of hangs out there.
You're totally wrong, because he wants to rule with respect, and at the end, I think he did.
And he lost all respect at the end of the show, so mission fail, right?
They gave him some like fruit or something. The children did. And he's like, ruling with respect, and I was like, wow, the show really came full circle.
Man, that show's bad. Yeah. I mean, it's not Batman for it. Well, I like Batman. It's not Batman and Robin bad.
It got like 4 Emmy
like
noms, though.
I don't give
got
it.
what?
Got
4 Emmy nominations, right?
Well, Friends got a plenty of Emmy nominations. Ask Jason how he feels about that. Like
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to awards, mega corporations buy them. At the end of the day,
true.
That's
Weinstein's 100% bought their fucking awards. Like, that was their whole goal.
And George Lucas wouldn't. And look at how many he got when he was making stuff. You know, and I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, it just kind of is. It is what it is. I mean, it's a stupid industry at the end of the day, I think. But it got good. It got good numbers.
Yeah,
I was waiting. I was going wait for the numbers.
But the finale of Boba Fett has more viewers than the finale of Mando 2.
So.
I'm just saying, a lot of people watched it.
Transformers 4 made more than Transformers 3, and you know, like,
look, Santa, I can't add. I don't know math. I don't know how it works. It's magic to me. But did the subscriber base grow by such an amount that it's literally on par or even less? I don't know. I don't know what.
As a percentage of subscribers. Well, it says that if the show was universally bad, you wouldn't expect numbers to go up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not the show's universally bad. It's the direction they're headed down, which is why I say I dare you to keep making shows like it. Like
No,
keep
don't
doing
do
that.
it. Don't do
Watch
that.
what
No,
happens.
don't do
Because
that.
what happens is overnight it crumbles, Santa. This isn't like Rome. It doesn't slow, or the North Pole doesn't
Look,
slowly decay
I got the
over like
solution.
you
I
know,
got it
from the
fixed.
80s to the nows, whatever we're in now.
I know what to do. Give
All right.
Star Wars to the lesbians. They'll deal with it. They'll fix it. They'll fix it up for us. That's why
Nick-
Acolyte's going to be good.
I'm saying, dude, they're pretty
I think
smart.
it's going to be good.
I mean,
think Acolyte's
Meg's
gonna be
killing
good.
it, right? So there you
Yeah.
go.
You know what I mean? I
Although
believe
she's questionable in the Bad Batch, you know.
Oh. And there was that whole Kira fiasco with Book of Boba Fett, right?
Can she at least agree it doesn't need to be 16 episodes long? I think she would agree on
17,
some level
17.
that you could get 8 of
24.
those episodes and get 8 full episodes of
26.
something like a pod racing or a Tales of the Jedi. 26. Man, Jason's going old school Transformers where they just cut the animation budget in 24 parts, right? Like, they just start flipping frames and tracing over old Transformers and, you know. Go watch those episodes is what they're doing. Using footage from old episodes. Ridiculous.
I would say, well, yeah, Friends should be erased from reality. That song especially. Nikki says lesbians already took over with the haircuts. Jason, don't be a bigot.
How's that being bigoted? They're not a race. Like, you don't. Santa's like, I tried to convince them. They don't believe me. They just keep showing up everywhere. Like,
Wait.
you know,
So
you know, hail
planet
from the lesbian region.
I thought there was a planet called Lesbos. And no? Oh, okay. Okay.
Jason clearly showing his Southern California roots.
Yeah. Whenever I see bigot, like Archie Bunker doesn't come to mind, or like, you know, it's always a Bigfoot. I always think of a Bigfoot when I think of bigot. I don't know why. I mean,
Just
it's
missing a
obviously
foe
fine,
in
but
there. That's
yeah,
all.
it's so close. I mean,
Add a foe, you got Bigfoot.
Can we all agree that the greatest laugh in the history of cinema is Harry and the Hendersons laugh? Like
oh, I said Eddie Murphy, friend. Sorry, close.
no, the
though.
Harry Henderson laugh is the greatest of all time.
I'm with Jason on this. You got to go.
You have to go with the Murph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. That's.
It's too much like
Clearly.
Ricky Ricardo for me. That's why he does such a great Ricky Ricardo.
Oh, you mean I'm with the second best laugh?
He's
Yeah, you're right.
But nobody does the Harry Henderson laugh. Just the Bigfoot. That's it.
We have to
I'm telling you,
clip it.
I was in
We
the
have to
theater when that fucking Bigfoot did that laugh. I fell out my chair. Like, I was a little kid, Coke everywhere, just pointing at the screen, laughing. I shit you not. The only time I fell on the floor in a movie theater, laugh, could not. I looked up, I just couldn't stop laughing. So funny, man.
Did you guys see when people started rewatching Harry and the Hendersons during the pandemic because it went to streaming, and then they noticed that he had like a big old schlong like in the beginning of the movie, like they gave him a schlong, and
No, I did not.
yeah, it's true. Like he really has one. It's like you could see it. It's there. Either way, if you have Shudder, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the movie right now, but we were talking about that series that we can't talk about, that ILM series that's coming out next week, that us three will hopefully get together and have a lot of discussions about.
Yeah, I got to talk to you about that after the show, by the way. So.
Yeah, we will. We'll get to it. But Phil Tippett in that story is, in my opinion, the most interesting thing about it, and I mean that from a good way. Well, he made this movie that's like his like passion project, if you will, and it's on Shudder, and it's called Mad God. So if you want to see a claymation asshole monster, when I say asshole, I literally mean an ass. Like this guy, this is him going like, yeah, I like Alejandro Jodorowsky. It's like the movie is not the guy you think who made Rancor monsters and Jurassic Park, dinosaur wrangling stuff. It's not what you think, but it's badass. It's the most metal stop motion movie ever made. And yeah, you should definitely check it out. And Shudder's a fun service, by the way. They should pay me to say that, but they don't. But it's a good little horror film service, and yeah, I think it's generally worth it. So if you have Shudder or there's a trial for it, I suggest getting it and watching Mad God, because it's pretty rad. And I'm more convinced that I want to be friends with Phil Tippett more than anybody in the whole world right now.
Well, I'll say watching some of these docuseries on the making of, and there's several of them out there. It's interesting to see the people who are telling the stories get to kind of shape the narrative.
Yeah.
Whether that narrative is accurate or not.
Right. Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, and that's
Spoiler, Santa. It's not. It's fucking not. I can tell you that right now. It's all bullshit.
Says the pot. I'm just telling you.
Just ask a Muppet. You know.
Well,
what they
with
think,
that,
you know, you get a better answer than half these.
Without talking about the Vice documentary in whole, let's just talk about.
We were talking about Friends.
No,
I love that show. All right. Well, I'm not interested. Peace out.
Keep up, George. Marsha Lucas participated in a Vice documentary series about the making of the original Star Wars stuff, and in it, there's like a line from her where she's like, you know, George's idea was to erase me from history. And like, I gotta be honest though, she's not wrong. But what the fuck did you expect? I mean, like if you you cheat on somebody, and then you're like, we're done, and you're like, our lives are over, move on. What's he supposed to do? Build you a fucking shrine about the great work that you did in all of your fantastic ideas and put you on a pedestal? Like,
to be fair, I was already doing that for Linda Ronstadt, but
yeah,
I couldn't build two of them, so I tore down the one I was starting for Marsha, and just, you know, really, when it's a statue, Jason, you can just change a face. No one can tell the difference, right?
I mean, George Lucas and Jason, you and I kind of went through the different versions of the sequel that he'd come up with over time. The guy retcons himself, and then he just makes up stuff about, oh no, that I was always going to do this or that. Like he does the classic hand wave, right? Like, oh, I never said that. You're just supposed to believe him. Oh, yeah, you know, he never said that.
And
so you always have to kind of look into whatever he says was the plan. Look a little deeper, because maybe not.
Santa, they're all written down in yellow notepads. I write
Yes.
on a yellow. It's the same yellow notepad I've had since American Graffiti. So they're all with Ticonderoga pencils and a lot of Mongolian barbecue sauce.
And George,
I'll be back.
I've always had this question, George. You know, R2D2 was supposedly named after American Graffiti, Reel 2 Dialogue 2. What was Dialogue 2 of Reel 2 of American Graffiti? What was that dialogue?
Oh, that was me yelling at Marsha that one day I'm going to erase her from the film. All the films, actually. Yeah.
There is a thing that happens that, like we were talking about a little bit yesterday. Okay, hey kids, come on, I'm doing a show here. Come on.
It's my voices, Jason.
Come on.
Make the kids happy. Yeah.
When you have a bunch of creatives in a room and everybody's spitballing ideas, and it's like the thing, then when you get down to it, most creatives will leave thinking it was their idea.
Yeah.
Even though if you were filming it, you would be able to, you know what I mean? And that's just not the case. And when it comes to Star Wars, you got people that had a hand in things and big parts of it. Like, we've heard the Millennium Falcon be attributed to George Lucas specifically. He was eating a hamburger and stuff like that. And it's just like, no, not really.
No,
not exactly. You know, and sometimes the stories aren't as like really as sexy and sound bitey as they want them to be, and then they get sound bited, and then somebody gets left out or whatever. And so I'm just gonna say it though, that Vice documentary is probably not worth your time.
Oh no, I think it's totally worth your time, but for a whole other reason.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just saw something interesting earlier today, and we talked about, you know, David or Lucas being petty and how he responded to David Prowse I hadn't seen that before, but the folks over at Echo Base did a video on it today, where George Lucas kind of just banished him. Got mad
Whoa.
because he attributed a leak to David Prowse, and then
It wasn't-
debunked,
Attributed.
No. There were like 90 leaks from David Prowse. there was a big tally of leaks of who made mistakes, and it would be like Carrie Fisher 7. She like messed up.
Oh,
David Prowse's were like, it's like in the 80s, I want to say. I'll look it up and I'll get us the official tally. And could it be faked to have defamed him? It could be, but he was somebody who they would say, don't do that. And then he would be like, I'm a big fucking man. And then he would go and just do that same thing again. And he kept doing it.
The one thing about Vader dying and being Luke's father, he didn't say either of those. Mm-hmm. But Lucas believed that he did. Mm-hmm. And so he just cut him out.
Yeah, there were a lot of attributions and leaks to him that are like
Capitalism,
100% like
It's a
real.
real problem.
And
You just do whatever you want when you're in charge.
yeah, and David Prowse, lied and said he could sword fight. That's not something that you could fucking fake like on the day you get to set. Like that's a big problem. That was a big problem.
Now, Jason, to be fair, that wasn't the sword fight he was talking about.
Oh,
That's my ticket laugh. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know why they didn't say, can you, twirl a broomstick for us for a second and show us your sword fighting? That might have been a good idea.
A little kid cornered that market 20 years later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, he was a problem. They got, and then at the end of the day, they ended up getting Bob Anderson. But what they should have done was just sort of bit the bullet and fired him, and just been like, Bob Anderson's going to be Darth Vader. But they didn't want like the bad press at the time, and I don't really know why. I mean, I know why you don't want bad press, but they were so pissed off at him, and it was so annoying to them for like years. I don't know why they. You know what I mean? Like no one involved with it liked him either. But yeah, no one else was close with him. He's a jock. He's a jock asshole. At the end of the day, like that was his like persona. And
even Neon Noob didn't like him. All right, think about that. I mean, what's it take to get Neon Noob to fucking hate you?
The guy who plays Neon Noob is super nice dude.
Yeah,
by the way.
that's what I'm saying. He's super nice. And Max Rebo's a fucking twat, though. It's ridiculous.
I do have to say though, Nikki, who gets so mad about so many things, can tolerate friends. I don't understand you, Nikki. I cannot figure you out for the life of me. If I thought
Here's
for
all
sure,
your friends' tears in my cup. All right.
yeah. If I thought for one thing was certain, it was that me and Nikki were gonna bond over the fact that we could fight everybody on that show and win. No, we couldn't.
So good.
That's what I thought was. But hey, you know what? I respect your right to like friends. But if you like Mad About You, just let's just not talk about that because of that show.
All the
Seinfeld
women that I either were going to marry or ended up did marry and love that Mad About You show, bro. It is weird. That's the thing that bound them all together. They were all different types of women, but that show they love. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nooners.
If they, I'm going to say if they can relate to Helen Hunt, they're not for you. That's just something I live
Twister.
by.
I like Helen Hunt. What's wrong with Helen Hunt?
I don't know. It was
She's
obscure
adorable.
name.
Come on now.
I mean, I don't know. I never saw Twister. I was too snobbish by that point to see it.
And she kind of looks like Leah Thompson.
Kind of.
No, she doesn't, you son of a bitch. Enough. Leah Thompson is a queen. She's a princess of my heart since I was 4 years old.
Just saying, a little bit. Could be.
A little bit.
No,
I see
it. You're
I see.
You're snorting the North Pole. You're snorting the North Pole snow.
And I gotta get my Rick McCollum fucking cartoon going, bro. Keep forgetting.
Yeah. Okay. What's going on in the chat here? Wait. I rebel. He's gonna go full gin on us. All right. What was Nikki saying now? To be fair, I didn't get into Friends till it went on Netflix. Okay. I don't think that makes it any better, Nikki. But
Look,
okay.
Jason. You can't sit here and complain about us '90s kids being these edgelord, everything so cynical, and then shit on Friends. It was the one thing, at least, trying to. I mean, look, it ripped its jokes off from Mr. Bean left and right. I mean, I'm not even gonna fucking deny that, but it was at least trying to not be, an edgelord, snarky, cynical show. They were fun.
I didn't like it because it took what I would call light 90s counterculture and was like, let's put David Schwimmer in a flannel with some fucking jangly guitar playing in the back and act like we know what we're doing. It was for the boomers when you really get down to it. I don't know.
It was for those kids who were there for the bicentennial.
Well, you could have watched My So-Called Life where we would get our future cult leader.
It's a 90s teen, Johnny. All right.
90s teen? What? Yeah, I was 90s teen.
It's still a kid when you're fucking. Come on, man. I was in high school in 92 to 90s. Come on.
Nikki, just to be fair, I hate all people. I hate everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He just tells me how much he hates me before and after the show, but I'm cool with it. It's true.
All right. Shogun Orta says, Friends just wasn't nerdy enough for me. Couldn't watch it. Yeah. For me, honestly, though, it could be like the show could be really good, but that song is just such a shit sandwich. It would be like, eat the shit sandwich.
Came up with one song.
No, I don't. Money, I would if that was my.
You're shilling for super chats. Of course you do.
I haven't shilled for one super chat in my whole life.
That's not true. That's why I keep giving them, because you shill, no one else will, but I come through, Jason. I come through. Even on Santa got my chats.
No one told you.
That was the day my wife told me, "Hey, could you
go
spend some money
this way?"
Yeah.
You needed some
coffee. Super chat. Right?
Rehab. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that was a song. I actually remember seeing people clapping to the intro, and aggressively relaxing. I was not.
Bro, there was Star Wars Disco, and
Star Wars Disco is badass. I'm all about. I never understood why rock people hated disco, because disco is fun. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Even when
because it's corny white people shit, Jason.
Last Train to London by what do you call it? Electric Light Orchestra, ELO. Oh, the song is great. It's like the rock disco fusion. That's when it worked. He proved it. He proved it could work.
They were like, white people don't want to dance so much. They came up with the strut.
Strut, yeah.
Right.
I could show you exactly where Courtney Cox hurt me. It was called Masters of the fucking Universe, friend.
Yeah, but then she redeemed it with Friends.
No,
and Scream was great. She really should have been Lois Lane in the 90s, don't you think? Yeah. See, I'm gonna let you know. In the 90s, I was at Comic-Con complaining to every person who was vaguely related to Hollywood I could get a hold of, right? And there was like some concept artist on Batman and Robin or one of those Warner Bros. I was like, "You're Warner Bros. They make a Superman." And like he can do anything, but he didn't want to hear it. I was like, "Will Smith should be Superman," and he was like, "What?" I'm like, "No, look. When he's the Fresh Prince, he's a total nerd, right? But then when you see him in Independence Day, he's a fucking badass. You just, you just do like the hip hop nerd, and then you do the badass, and then you get Courtney Cox to be Lois Lane. Like, she's great. She looks just like, looks like a better looking Margot Kidder without a coke habit, So she's reliable.
Yeah. Is Margot Kidder still alive?
No, she passed.
So somewhere in some other dimension, perhaps heaven. Perhaps not. Carrie Fisher and Margot Kidder are just partying it up, but Belushi and lots of interdimensional drugs. Tomorrow says, if you don't like Friends, there's always Joey. You son of a bitch. Aria says reading
Now, that
Into the
is
Shadow.
total dog shit. I'm not even going to defend that show. Like, it's
Oh,
just
sure.
ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. That's when it jumped the shark. Aria says reading the intro of Shadow of the Sith makes me want a whole show of Rey's mom and dad. She's so fucking awesome. I liked how they were. Yeah, I liked how they were written. Like, I think one of the bummers of Shadow of the Sith is unless they start making novels into television shows at some point, kind of sucks that we didn't get that in a on screen or in a miniseries or something, because like that whole story I think would have been worthy of seeing on screen.
Too late now. Now it's a book. Can never happen. See, Jason, if it weren't canon, if it was just a great book they could pull from or adapt, then you could do that.
They can do that.
No, they can't, because then which canon will fucking win out?
They're already doing that with already doing that in this. They're already doing that in this story with the comics and the novel with Ochi.
There is no universe in which the fucking live action films recognize the event in Bloodlines where everyone found out that Vader was, and it would turn up the whole galaxy upside down. It's just they won't do it. So I don't believe this shit's canon. They can sit there and pretend it is, but it's not.
Those, if they are ever going to do it, they should get on it soon, which they're clearly not going to, which is why they allowed it to be a novel. But that would have made, the actors eventually will be like, oh, look at Rey's grandparents playing her young parents, So if they want to do it, they should. Well, that's why in certain ways, I wish there was sort of a broader anthology live action ongoing series, like for it just turn Book of Boba Fett into the first chapter and then make the next one Book of Dathan or whatever, and just like his name
Book of Dantooine.
Yeah,
I agree. Dantooine needs some book.
But well, because like there's like moments in those novels though that are completely screen worthy that I would love to see. Like I was saying before, like that scene of Luke Skywalker going up against the Wraiths on Exegol and Anakin stepping in and helping, like that. If that scene was just made into like a 15-minute or a 20-minute like episode of something, it completely would rock. And it wouldn't require a ton of exposition because if it was accepted that it was an anthology series of canon Star Wars moments that took place elsewhere, and that if you wanted the rest, you could read the book. I think it would elevate the whole medium, and the books would become, all of a sudden, people would be like, these books have more value to me. And I think it would help, do a lot of fan servicey stuff without having to commit to a whole series, about Rey's parents.
But then they have to deal with some writer going on fucking Twitter and telling everyone how it was all their fucking idea and it's really their universe and Disney doesn't pay them, blah, 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 blah. So they won't do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But, Johnny, I'll make you a mod on that account later on, because I have to like go into YouTube and stuff, and it's like a whole thing. I'm 127 minutes into this show, so what do you want? But Real Ben Manor says, have we heard any updates on the Droid series? I'm assuming it's animated, right? It's a mocap series is pretty much all we know. It's a relationship between ILM X Labs and ILM itself, I guess, pretty much itself. But the VR side of things to do like mocap work and stuff like that, and they're supposed to turn it into a movie. I figured we would hear something, or an NFT.
They haven't decided.
I figured they would tell us something about it at Celebration, and they didn't, which kind of makes me wonder, why didn't they? And just maybe it's just not done. Maybe the key moments just weren't ready to show yet, or something like that. But wasn't it originally supposed to be a 2022 offering? Because I believe it was supposed to be. I don't believe that could be the case at this point. That seems highly unlikely.
We haven't heard anything in a while, but there was that thing a few months ago about Anthony Daniels doing some mocap stuff. So
yeah, it was like an Instagram post or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's that. It's definitely that. I think Bespin Bulletin even had stuff about them doing the mocap stuff at Pinewood.
It's just an excuse for him to be on set complaining about Kenny Baker, even though Kenny Baker's dead. He just goes there and tells everyone all these shitty stories about Kenny Baker, and then
Yeah, one time he
home
told me
happy
he
gets paid.
could beat Kenny Baker in a fight.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably true.
Have you seen the Cartman versus the Little Person episode of South Park? Like, that's based on Anthony Daniels and Kenny Baker. Like, it's basically it.
Sheev says, like Tales of the Jedi could show things from Dooku Jedi Lost and maybe the Ahsoka novel. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff would generally be a pretty good idea. Like I think, anyways. But
if I had to bet on it, I would say they're going to write their own canon, and it won't tie into any of them novels.
Star Wars Santa is that's not fair.
Jason.
That's when they have all kinds of like plastic surgery and stuff. Probably you gotta
Just
do
saying,
them
it
in
kind
their
of
time.
look similar.
Told you they look just like Leah Thompson. Like, why you argue with me, Jason? Show me a picture. He's right. Shit.
Right.
It's a bad photo. It's your photo. Jason's now going to turn to AI to try to get it to change the look of every photo of Helen Hunt on the internet, so she can't look vaguely like.
Hey,
Look,
hey.
put some giant fake boobs on Helen Hunt, and I'm telling you, you can't tell the difference.
Sorry about alternate 1985 Leah Thompson. Wait, hold on.
If they don't get the references, I'm not obliged to explain them.
That's fair. That's fair. Here we go. All right. That looks like Helen Hunt to you. Like you see her and you see.
Well,
Helen
you got to
Hunt.
go give me a photograph of Helen Hunt from 1984.
Okay, I can do that. We have that
Because
technology.
we've seen how much Obi-Wan ages in 10 years. That's not fair. Like,
I mean, Helen Hunt, 1984.
And now, Jason, this is when Jason goes, "Oh shit."
Oh,
do look
if
like
it-
you. Like,
We're talking like transers Helen Hunt. Okay, is what we're talking here. Okay, Wait, she was. Okay, wait.
he's going to get one where she has a mohawk and go, look, totally different. You got me.
wait.
You
No,
got me on
no.
that one.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be fair here. I'm going to go with Helen Hunt at doing Helen Hunt. Okay,
Mhm.
Helen Hunt being the true Helen Hunt that she is. Okay, look. Okay, so everybody look into the eyes of beautiful Leah Thompson, and then
Rat or frog?
Helen
Come
Hunt.
on, that's too small. Yeah. Now put
No!
her in some makeup and some brown hair. That looks yeah.
Yeah.
Not
match up,
even
bro.
close.
Yep. Same
Like-
jawline, lips. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she's
Hunt's hotter though. Gotta be honest.
Helen. You think Helen Hunt is hotter? God, you guys are.
I'm with Rob again on this.
Yeah.
How much did Nikki take you guys into the upside down yes means no means yes world and bring you back not fixed?
No.
What is going on here?
Not
Definitely
fixed.
more radish though, you think, right? They're both rats. See? That's how you know.
No, that's
Yeah.
this is you guys are crazy. What does chat what does chat think? Do these people look the same to you? Because she looks
Yes.
she looks like a lion.
Yeah.
Like she looks like.
Well, I'm
like,
waiting for you to change the image, Jason.
No, I'm just going back and forth.
What?
Like between
I don't see what.
they don't look the same at all. Like,
And where's the other
Matt
image?
Risman. It's literally the
Where's
same
the
person.
other image? It's the same image.
oh
See,
man, you guys.
Matt
Literally the
sees
same
it.
person.
Matt,
Yeah.
The world has gone face blind. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
That's what I'm.
No, we've gotten even no. Does
Yeah.
this look like a face that doesn't know what it's talking about?
well,
The real Judge Ben Maynard has spoken. Totally disagree, Rob.
And
All I learned is Jason is partial to brunettes.
what's new with that? Like, when has Ben ever? I'll be shocked when Ben goes totally agree, Rob. Like
The only time I'm ever attracted to blondes is when they got brunette face. Yeah.
I didn't say which one are you attracted to more, Jason. That's a whole nother conversation. Put glasses on her.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
See what she thinks about Indiana Jones.
Fair enough. Fair enough, you son of a bitch. I'm waiting for the text right now.
I'm gonna get the don't talk about my. Everyone can talk about my wife, but no one can talk. Can't talk. Okay, all right. Open season on my relationship, but sure.
I think this just allows you to like go, yeah, baby, you look just like Helen Hunt to me. Hey, of course I think Helen Hunt's hot because you look just like her. Look, I'm wrong.
Man, this show was originally called My Two Jasons. Do you not? Where were you a year ago?
Right? I look like Helen Hunt. I mean, I'm Helen Hunt. I am Helen Hunt.
You kind of do. You kind of do. Huh.
Two eyes, nose.
Helen
mouth.
Hunt needs to do a little more intermittent fasting, but that's pretty close. What?
How many of you motherfuckers are mad about me?
Huh.
Sorry. I had to say that.
Oh, Jason.
All right. We went there.
Santa shaves that beard. He's a spitting image of Paul Reiser. You two should go out on a date.
I've got a picture of me without the beard. Trust me, you don't want to see it.
I don't want to see any Santa without the beard. All of them.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we did it. I mean, we've devolved into fighting about Helen Hunt and Leah Thompson, the most relevant things to Star Wars in the world right now. So we did it.
They're both Star Wars adjacent, right? Sort of science fiction adjacent, I guess. Leah Thompson was in a Howard the Duck movie, right? And Back to the Future. And
Didn't Helen Hunt audition for George?
Well,
that was was that Jodie Foster?
Audition. You know, like
Jodie Foster did for sure.
See, I'm going to say Jodie Foster and Helen Hunt. Those are birds of a feather who flock together. Leah Thompson's completely different bird. That sounds sexist, but you know what I mean. Completely different creature, thing, person, type of human. I'm gonna trip all over my words. You guys got me though.
It's the problem when you're progressive. You got to cover every base at once. You know, right, Santa? It's a real shame. You should just let them plow through with stereotypes. Don't you think?
All right, Santa. I hope we didn't get you into too much trouble today. But
I've had great. I had to support Rob. I typed like 10 different times yesterday about the whole canon nonsense, and I was like, stay out of it, Santa. So today I was able to, set that straight.
But
Rob,
before
you
we
call
go,
it Kanan? Because I get that confused with Freddie Prinze Jr. when you do that. Like,
unfortunately, Rob is right far too often. It makes me sad. But
that's
that's
how this marriage works, Santa. That's how she goes. God fucking! I hate this.
I hate myself. I hate myself when. Yeah,
I hate myself too.
Can we call him Kanan? Can we go back to calling him Kanan?
But I'll be back tomorrow. Like. There's no way that Reddit's real. I'm just gonna finish on that. There's no way.
And I'm gonna offer I'm gonna throw out a Nikki olive branch.
I'm horny. Who cares?
But maybe it played, maybe it didn't. Did it play? I don't know.
It did.
I couldn't see it. And that's for you, not me saying that to you, to be clear.
They look more alike than Leah Thompson looks like Helen, but it's number two. Number two would be Leah Thompson.
Leah Thompson looks more like Rey than Helen Hunt looks like Thompson.
No.
I don't think they look alike. I'm just saying more, not, I'm just gonna say. And then I'm just gonna let our friend King Chris be the last word on it. Peak Helen Hunt wasn't as good as it gets.
Good movie.
I'm also gonna say peak Haley Joel Osment. I don't know what that means.
You haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, I have. I saw him
with him in there.
I saw him. Yeah, he's good. He's good. I just don't like to think. I like to think of them as two different people, sort of like an Anakin and Darth Vader kind of situation. Like Haley Joel Osment's like, I killed Haley Joel Osment. Is it Osment or Osmond? I can't remember. Who cares? All right, everybody.
However Jason Mewes says it is how it is. That's how I roll.
Get the fuck out of my house.
All right. I can't see any videos.
I
They're
would
just
have
not
gotten
playing for
up,
me.
but I'm afraid my ass crack will show up on camera. So just pretend I run.
Super chat, his ass crack. Let's do it.
The end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come